Welcome to Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, where we will be headed to Atlanta in a Delta One suite. I had to gate M43 to board one of Delta's A330-900neos for this 9-hour flight, covering 3,800 nautical miles and climbing up to 34, 37, and eventually 38,000 feet. Join me today as I review this flight to see how Delta can stack up against other airlines' brand new business class products. The gate at Paris was packed. I found Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport to be very unorganized. This is a good example of that. Let's take a look at Delta's A330-900neo cabin configuration before we board. There are 224 seats in economy laid out in a 2-4-2 configuration. 56 of those seats are extra legroom Comfort Plus seats. There are 28 seats in the Premium Select cabin in a 2-3-2 configuration. The Delta One Suites cabin is laid out in a 1-2-1 configuration. There are 29 seats in this cabin. Delta's A330neo has a total of 281 seats. Once boarding commenced, I head to my seat 6J. This is the best seat in the cabin because of its increased privacy and because it's an even row. It also has a great engine view. Once I got to my seat, I was met with a pillow and slippers. Let's go ahead and begin the seat tour. Waiting for you at your seat, there's a water bottle, Delta One headphones, and an adjustable reading light. The seat controls can be found on your left. There are also 3 plugs, a headphone jack, a universal outlet, and 2 USB Type-A outlets. The tray table slides out from your left and is a pretty decent size. There's also a remote for the IFE screen. Up above, there are individual lights, but unfortunately no air vents. Here's the footwell, which I found to have plenty of room. The in-flight entertainment selection is really good, as it's one of the 4 aircraft in the fleet featuring the new IFE operating system. Now it's time to check out the amenity kit. It comes with lip balm, a pen, an eye mask, and a toothbrush. As we climbed, the crew came out and offered mixed nuts as well as a drink. A few minutes after we reached our cruise altitude, the meal service began. It started with bread and a salad. Quickly after, the main meal was brought out. It also allows you to pick your meal selection about 24 hours in advance. After the main meal, dessert was offered. I picked the classic Delta ice cream sundae. Once the meal service was over, I closed my suite door and enjoyed the 9-hour flight to Atlanta. There were some stunning wing views as we crossed the Atlantic. This seat converts into a fully lie-flat bed. I found it to be very comfortable on my previous Delta One flights, but I did not need it as this was a daytime flight back to the US. About an hour and a half before landing, a light meal was served. Cool to see 2 full meals served on a flight. As we started our descent into Atlanta, I will give my concluding remarks about this flight. I'm happy to say that this flight was outstanding, very good all around. The cabin crew were nice, however I don't think that they topped the Delta flight attendants that I had on my flight from Atlanta to Amsterdam. The food was great, 2 meals on a flight is always awesome. The seat is really comfortable, and I think Delta knocked it out of the park with these new Delta One suites on the A330neo and the A350. This is quite a stunning arrival, so you'll definitely want to see these amazing views.
Atlanta, where the local time is approximately 7:26 p.m. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft is parked at the gate and the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. We ask that you please use caution when opening overhead bins.